Hey, Olivia. My name's Diane. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for earlier. Oh, hey there, Diane. I can't believe I'm only just talking to my little brother's wife for the first time. I wanted to introduce myself to you today, but I was so tied up with everything I didn't get a chance. I wanted to meet you too, sweetie. Don't worry about it, though. I get that you had a lot on your plate. So, Diane, huh? It's nice to finally speak to you. It's a shame we still haven't been able to meet for real. I was hoping I could see you before you went home, but I guess it couldn't be helped. I've been waiting for Gary to tell me your name for ages now. Sorry about that. I did want to stay, but I had some urgent plans that I just couldn't break away from, so I had to go home. But fear not, because Gary gave me your phone number. We're finally in touch. Yeah, I'm really pleased. Here's to a long, bright future as sisters-in-law. Yeah, right. Anyway, Olivia, I hope you don't think I'm rude in saying that, but the look on your face earlier was hilarious. Weren't you a little too surprised when me and Gary showed up? You looked like you'd seen a ghost. It's only natural I'd be surprised. Anyone would be a little shocked if their estranged brother, who they hadn't heard from for years, suddenly showed up at their house out of the blue. That would be surprising enough on its own, but I got hit with a double whammy when I realized he was married and brought his new wife along. My jaw almost hit the floor. When did you get married? The wedding was almost half a year ago. Hey, Olivia, want to hear the story of how we met? I'd love to hear it one day. But if you don't mind me asking, why did you guys come? It's not that I wasn't pleased to see you, but I was a little surprised when you went home so soon after coming out all this way to see us. We just wanted to see your guys' reaction. Any girl would be curious about what her man's family are like, no? Gary told me so many stories about you guys since we met that I was really eager to see you in the flesh. I wanted to know what kind of house you lived in, too. And boy, was I impressed. It's beautiful. Is it a new build? New-ish. We had it built around 5 years back. I was blown away when I realized you lived in such a trendy house. Did you have it built through Peeps Homes? Yeah. Wow, how did you know? You've got a good eye for this kind of thing, huh? I was super surprised when I saw it for the first time, too. My mom had built it while I was living out in Singapore for work, so I wasn't there for the grand unveiling. I think a house that marvelous is wasted with just you and your sick mom in it. She gets admitted to the hospital all the time, right? Gary told me all about how many different illnesses and ailments she has. Not to mention all the medications she's on. Her medicine cabinet must be like a mini pharmacy. Anyways, her constantly being in and out of the hospital like that must mean you're basically living there on your own. Sure, it used to be that way, but she's been resting up at home a lot lately, so it feels less like I'm on my own again now. Besides, being a new build, it's really well insulated, which makes it perfect for my mom to recover in. To be honest, I'd say I feel more peace of mind when she's here with me than when she's in the hospital. The ventilation's great, and we get this lovely, refreshing breeze that passes through the house in the day. The lighting's amazing, and we can even see the Rocky Mountains from the north side windows. For my mom, who spends a lot of time in bed, it's the perfect house. I can't imagine any hospital even coming close to this level of comfort. Wow, really? That sounds so cool. It was rainy and misty today, so I didn't notice the Rocky Mountains. But that must be such a picturesque view. I have to ask you this, Diane. But don't you and my brother have any intention of helping out with my mom's care? I'm finding it really difficult on my own. What? No way, that ain't gonna be happening, sweetie. Why would we go out of our way to take on the burden of something we know is gonna eat up huge chunks of our time and stress the living heck out of us? What kind of masochists do you take us for? I see. Fine, whatever, I guess. I didn't expect anything of you to begin with, so I can't say I'm surprised. Everyone knows that looking after elderly parents is the eldest daughter's job. I get that you might be struggling, but don't you think trying to palm your responsibilities off onto your little bro and his wife just because they happen to pay you a visit is a tad brazen? Don't you think this presumptuous attitude of yours might have had something to do with you not hearing from Gary for years? Wow, Diane, do you even know how ridiculous that sounds? I'm pretty sure the only reason my brother didn't come home is because he felt awkward and embarrassed. He was scared of me lecturing him for what he did, wasn't he? Surely he must have told you about everything that happened. Lecturing? Everything that happened? What do you mean? Oh, so he kept it quiet from you then, did he? How convenient. Gary took my mom's wedding ring without her permission and sold it for cheap at a pawn shop. He's always been the troublemaker of the family. I could go on all day about the never-ending list of crap he's pulled over the years. For example, the time he bought himself a new Porsche with our dad's life insurance payout when he died. Surely that's your mom's fault for not giving him a big enough cut of the money. What else was he supposed to do if he was struggling? Wow, seriously? Even hearing tales of my brother's stupendous scumbaggery doesn't put you off of him? Gary's my husband. We're a team, and I'll always have his back no matter what. That's what being married is all about. Forgive me if this is a rude question, but what exactly is it about my brother that you like? He's handsome. Oh, I see. He's just my type. Not only is he handsome, but he's rugged, masculine, charming. He has all the traits a man should have. He really is amazing. I'm pleased to hear you think so highly of him. Anyway, would you mind telling him I'd like him to come and visit our mom every now and then? I hate to say it, but she's been getting so much worse lately that there's no telling when something serious might happen. I'd feel awful if they never got to see each other again. I think he should make the most of the time we all have together while we have it, because one day it'll be too late. And I don't want him to spend the rest of his life full of regret. Yes, boss, I'll pass on the message. Hey, Olivia, long time no speak. Me and Gary are going to be living with you at your mom's place from starting today. Our things will be arriving just after noon, so be a darling and get ready to bring it all inside for us. Excuse me? We'll be there in about 30 minutes. Start preparing the buffet, sweetie. We're starving. We're gonna need supper later on as well. I'll take a roast duck with plum sauce, mushrooms, mixed vegetables, and cashew nuts. Gary said he wants lasagna with cottage cheese, eggplant, spinach. Oh, and of course, we'll both be needing champagne and plenty of it. Whoa. Just slow down for a second there, Diane. Can we start back at the beginning? Would you mind explaining what you mean when you say you're going to be living with us? Actually, you know what? Before that, how about you explain what the hell you've been playing at all this time? You didn't even show up at Mom's funeral. Do you have any idea how many times we tried contacting you? You think we have enough free time on our hands to be answering your phone calls? We were busy getting ready for the move. You should have told us the old lady looked ready to kick the bucket if you wanted us to come. You can hardly expect us to drop everything and rush over for the funeral at a moment's notice. Removal vans don't come cheap, you know. What the hell are you talking about, Olivia? This is the first I've heard of you moving house. You're the only one left at your mom's place since she died, right? You must be lonely. We're gonna do you a huge favor and come keep you company because we're so kind. Besides, a house that magnificent is wasted on a single woman like you. It's such an amazing place. We think it at least deserves the respect of being lived in properly. Wow, so that's why you took it upon yourself to decide you're coming to live with me, is it? This house isn't wasted on me at all. Don't be so arrogant. Oh, yes, it is. It's wasted on you, and me and Gary are gonna fix that. It makes far more sense for a couple like us to live there, because unlike you, we have a future. We'll probably have kids before long. Then Gary will inherit the house, and we can live there with our new family happily ever after. Wait a sec, are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting? That I should leave? Why should I? I lived here for the last 5 years with Mom before she passed away. I was responsible for all of her care. all of the housework, paid the bills, did all the grocery shopping, and now you're telling me I should leave? Maybe all those things are true, but the point still stands that me and Gary already ended the contract on our apartment and hired the removal van. Your mom's house is the only place we have left to go. I can't tell you how excited we are about moving into our nice, big, spacious, detached house in the country with a view of the mountains. Our old place was a cramped little shoebox-sized apartment in the city. I can't tell you what it's like to finally be leaving that cockroach-infested hellhole. Who the hell do you think you are? You don't text, you don't call, you don't visit, you don't even show up at our mom's damn funeral. You don't show the slightest care for her while she was sick and dying. I literally haven't heard from either of you in years. And then you think you get to show up out of the blue and announce you're moving into her house as soon as she dies? I can't believe you left your apartment and hired a removal company without even freaking consulting me first. You're unreal. Listen, Olivia, I wanted to do this the polite way, but if you insist on whining at me like this, I have no choice. I'm just gonna come out with it. You don't belong in a house that trendy. It's like giving the crown jewels to a peasant. Fortunately, it just so happens that me and Gary are a perfect fit for the place. We're trendy, we're hip, we're up to date on all the latest fashion trends, we make a lot of money. Basically, we're winners in life. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if house prices shot up when people got wind of a couple as cool as us moving into the neighborhood. I see. Things are finally starting to make sense. I think I understand why you guys showed up out of the blue that time half a year ago now. As far as you guys were concerned, that was a house viewing, wasn't it? Oopsie! Did we get busted? I remember it like it was yesterday. I fell in love with the house the moment I saw it, my dream home. You don't have to worry about the place though, sweetie. I'll take good care of it. Hurry up and get your things together and get the hell out. You're nothing but a nuisance in the way of mine and Gary's happiness. I see how it is. All right, have it your way. I'll leave. But I want you to know that as far as I'm concerned, you and my brother are the last people who should be living in that house. Oh, what's this? The distant cries of a bitter loser? Believe me, Olivia, me and Gary are a perfect fit, so you need to hurry up and get the hell out. Preferably before we arrive so we don't have to look at your ugly face, okay? Thanks, sweetie. Hey, why aren't you picking up the phone? I've been trying to call you. At least reply to my messages. Hello? Oops, my bad. Must have dozed off. Sorry, honey. I feel wonderfully refreshed now, though. What can I do for you? What can you do for us? You know damn well what you can do for us. Now isn't the time to be taking naps. We just got kicked out of our freaking house. Help! Diane, you seem a little tense. Is everything okay? Judging from the state of the frenzied panic you're in, I'm guessing it already started. Oh, wait. You know? You know what's happening at the house right now? Yep, more or less. Then how about you frickin' do something about it? Some strange old guy showed up and told us to get out of the house. Who is he? Do you know him? Yep. Gary was so pissed off, he was about ready to challenge him to a fight right then and there on the doorstep. He's gone for the time being. The old guy didn't seem intimidated at all. He just laughed when Gary started moving closer to him to try and get him to back off. I didn't catch what he said properly over the sound of Gary flipping out at him, but I'm pretty sure he said something about coming back before he finally walked away. Oh, really? You're right, that doesn't sound like he was intimidated at all. Right? Then when he was getting into his car, he said something about us regretting this? I can't put my finger on what exactly it was, but there was something scary about his aura, like he might be involved in some bad things. One thing's for sure, he wasn't a law-abiding citizen. Take this as your first and final warning. I think it'd be wise to do exactly as that old man told you. Why? What's going to happen to us if we don't? Who the hell is he? You'll never be able to get away from him as long as you're staying there. I'm the only one that can live in that house. Huh? You and Gary seem to be making a major misunderstanding. That house didn't belong to my mom. What? Then who the hell does it belong to? The old guy who just showed up and gave you the fright of your lives. Wait, what? That guy owns the house? You've got to be kidding me. That guy is a highly accomplished businessman, philanthropist, and real estate magnate who rubs shoulders with some of the world's most influential people. He runs several companies across a range of industries, from IT to real estate, from industrial manufacturing to hospitality. He's even making waves in the donut industry. He was in Time magazine lately for his role of the expansion of the vegan hotel suites he introduced at one of his hotel chains. He owns land in over 30 states and has been photographed with every president since Bush Sr. Mom was just renting the house from him. He was technically her landlord. Well, I say renting, but he was actually letting her stay there for free. And me too. What? For free? How the hell did you manage to get him to let you guys stay in such an amazing house for free? You mean, why did my mom get special treatment? Because the two of them were married under common law. Married under common law? What does that mean? Common law marriage is for couples who want to live together and present themselves as a married couple without going through a marriage ceremony or getting tied up in any of the legal aspects. Anyway, the bottom line is that old man is well within his rights to give you and Gary your marching orders. You're living in his house without permission, Diane. I don't think I need to educate you on the legality of that. You don't need to be a genius to figure out he could take you to court if you carry on refusing to leave. As far as the law is concerned, you two are total strangers. Wait, what? You mean me and Gary could get arrested? I lived with him and Mom for a long time, and we're on really good terms. He said he was more than happy for me to carry on living there free of charge after Mom passed away. He was obviously never going to extend the same courtesy to the arrogant, selfish son-in-law who neglected his beloved wife, failing to visit her even as she lay dying in hospital. You're insane if you think he's going to let you get away with taking it upon yourself to move into his house out of the blue. If you have anything resembling an ounce of common sense between the two of you, you'll get out of there as soon as possible and pray he takes mercy on you for the trespassing committed thus far. But where are we supposed to go? That's neither mine nor his problem, Diane. Why don't you try putting yourself in his shoes for a moment? It's only natural he'd be furious with you for what you did. Plus, that's not all, is it? I heard all about the awful, disrespectful things you said to him. Something tells me there's a strong possibility he's focusing all of his efforts on clearing his house of its parasite infestation as we speak. I told you how influential he is, right? Money is no issue for him, and he's been through enough legal battles to know a thing or two about how the law works. He'll have you in court so fast you won't know what's hit you. What are you trying to say? That he's already talking to the police or his lawyer? No, we can't afford to go to court. We wouldn't even know the first thing about hiring a lawyer. I think things could be about to get very difficult for you if you don't take my brother and get out of that house immediately. I want to, believe me, but Gary's refusing to move. He says we're staying and that's final. Wow, I see he's just as much of a moron as usual then. Let me guess, he's being a stubborn blockhead and refusing to leave to protect his wounded pride because my stepdad flipped out at him? He must be seething. Knowing Gary, he's probably thinking of how he can take his revenge. But won't the police be showing up soon? Olivia, please, you have to help us. Won't you try and convince him to leave? I begged and I pleaded, but he won't hear a word of it. You're his sister. Maybe he'll listen to you. The police? The old man's influence extends far beyond the police. After what Gary said to him, something tells me you're in for a lot worse than a police visit. What? Worse than a police visit? What's that supposed to mean? Tell me, please, you're scaring me. Oh, I am? Guess I can't say I feel guilty. To be honest, you guys have had this coming for a while now. I think it's about time you learned your lesson. Good luck, sweetie. help us, please! Olivia, I'm begging you. You have to do something. We're in big trouble here. What's wrong? Has there been another development? The house is surrounded by scary-looking bald guys in leather jackets. They're big and muscly and have the meanest looks on their faces. Me and Gary are terrified. We closed all the curtains and turned the lights off to make them think we're not home. We can't even escape with them out there. I've never seen Gary this way before. He's curled up in the corner, rocking back and forth in the fetal position, whispering, "This is all just a dream," to himself in between outbursts of hysterical crying. He looks pathetic. Wow, I see. So they did end up going after all. I wasn't sure if he'd actually do it. What? Do you know these people? Who the hell are they? That old guy, is he like the leader of a gang or something? No, it's nothing like that. He's powerful and influential, but he's not involved in anything dangerous or illegal. And neither are the guys currently surrounding your house. Do you really want to know, Olivia? Okay, I'll tell you. They're all former professional boxers. I told you he runs several companies, right? Well, he has ties to the boxing industry going back decades and runs a couple of martial arts gyms locally. Wait, so basically these guys surrounding our house are a bunch of angry fighters? Bingo. Looks like he stopped by all of his gyms, picked up the boxing coaches, and brought them back to the house. With a short-tempered moron like my brother, a simple, easy-to-understand show of force is always going to be a lot more persuasive than a reasoned argument. What? But this is barbaric. This is no different to how the mafia operates. But is it really? All they're doing is surrounding your house. Go on, take a peep from behind the curtains if you dare. They're just standing there, right? It's not like they're causing any trouble. Besides, you're the ones illegally trespassing in their boss's house. If you want to know what a lawbreaker looks like, then why not start by looking in the mirror? This is outrageous! How do you think the neighbors are going to feel when they see this bunch of mean-looking bald dudes loitering down their street? There are kids around here. It's only a matter of time before someone feels frightened and calls the cops. The only ones who'll be in trouble then are him and his henchmen, so I suggest you make them stop right this instant. I wonder. You see, Diane, every single house in that neighborhood belongs to that old man. He operates a communal living scheme for young fighters who need a helping hand in life. He provides them with somewhere to live and covers all of their living expenses so they can train and focus on their fight careers full-time. There's not a single person in that neighborhood who'd call the cops on him. In fact, your neighbors are all buddies with the mean-looking henchman currently outside your house. He owns every single house in the neighborhood? Just how much money does this guy have? Looks like Mr. and Mrs. Sheep moved into Wolf Village without realizing it. Oopsie. It was nice knowing you both. Please help us. You have to do something about this. You said you and your hotshot new daddy are friends, right? Then talk to him for us and get us out of this mess. He'll listen to you. I bet one word from you is all it'll take for him and his lackeys to go home. Please, I'm begging you. Isn't there something you should say before you come asking me for favors? Did you forget what you and my brother did? I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry I stole your house. Is that all? That doesn't make me feel like forgiving you. I'm so sorry for all the nasty, mean things I said about you. I'm so sorry for not going to your mom's funeral. We should have been there and we weren't. But you're well within your rights to hate us for that. But please try and find it in your heart to forgive us. We'll leave the house straight away, I swear. We'll never come back for as long as we live. Will you pass on a message to my brother for me? If you ever, even so much as try, to come anywhere near me after this, you won't get off so lightly next time. He makes me sick. I'll be happy if I never see his face again. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have a little brother anymore. He's as good as dead to me. Okay, I just told him. He said sorry. He'll never come near you or the house again. All right, I'll tell them. Yes, thank you so much, Olivia. I'll never forget this. Oh, don't get the wrong idea, sweetie. I only mean I'll tell them to spare your lives. Spare our lives? What's that supposed to mean? I mean, I'll tell the old man he can do whatever he likes with you both as long as he spares your lives. What? But why? We both apologized, didn't we? Sure, you apologized to me, but he's angry with you for his own reasons. If you want the band of angry fighters outside your house to go away, then I suggest you go out and negotiate with the boss man yourselves. But to negotiate with him, we'd have to leave the house. Of course. Duh. Alrighty then. Time to dig deep for every last ounce of courage you've got and face the music. You can do this, Diane. I believe in you. Be brave. No. I can't. I just can't. Please. Do you have any idea how scary these guys look? I can't go near them. What alternative do you have? You gonna stay holed up in the house forever? Look, let me make it real simple for you. If you're not out of that house within the next hour, I won't forgive you either. Did the removal company arrive yet? Not yet, but they won't be long. I suggest you get on the phone immediately and call them off. But what are we supposed to do with our things? We already got rid of the apartment. We don't have anywhere to put everything. I'm not sure why you think that's my problem, sweetie. But I can assure you it most certainly is not. Figure it out yourselves. I'm sure they'll keep a hold of it all for an extra day if you toss a little money their way. We don't have any left. Look, Olivia, to tell you the truth, me and Gary have been unemployed for a while. I quit my job when he got promoted a while back, but he got fired one day after throwing a cheese grater at his boss in the office cafeteria. We'd been struggling to pay the rent on the apartment for a while. That's why we decided to move here. We had no choice. We used the last remnants of our savings on the removal van. Wow, you two really are beyond saving. Unfortunately for you, I couldn't care less whether you're in dire straits. If you leave even so much as a single one of your belongings outside this house, there will be hell to pay. Olivia, please, this is going too far. How could you be so heartless? Do you want me and your brother to be homeless, do you? Because we'll have no choice but to live on the streets if we do what you're asking us to. You're about to destroy a young couple's future with your selfish demands. Is that really something you want on your conscience? What's this all of a sudden? The distant cries of a bitter loser? Homeless is fine by me. Hurry up and get out of my house. After that, my brother and his wife escaped the house in a hurry, under the stony gaze of the group of brawny men gathered outside. They told me they had no money left after canceling the contract on their apartment, so I have no idea what became of them after that, and to be honest with you, I don't care one bit. Their fates will forever remain a mystery. With that, I moved back into my house and resumed my life as normal. Of course, appearances can be deceiving, and while I know that all of my Boxer neighbors are kind, friendly, warm-hearted people, I can easily see how the neighborhood being full of mean-looking guys in black cars with tinted windows could scare off anyone who didn't know. Which means that any shady characters or would-be criminals don't have the guts to come near the place. And as a result, we never get any troublemakers, and it's an amazingly peaceful place to live. Anyway, I mentioned what lovely people my Boxer neighbors are, right? Well, it just so happens that I married one of them, a pro fighter, even years after the events of today's episode. Eventually, we moved out of that house and got a place of our own out in the country. Even still, we stayed in touch with my mom's husband and ex-landlord, who'd done so much for us both over the years, and we're still in contact to this day. With both my parents gone, he agreed to walk me down the aisle as my dad on our wedding day. It was the happiest day of my life, and I just know my parents were looking down on us, smiling. I'll be eternally grateful to my mom for bringing such an amazing, compassionate human being into my life.
Hey Chloe, how's my favorite granddaughter doing today? Did you finish up putting away all your stuff yet?
Hey Grandma, I'm doing great. Nope, there are still cardboard boxes all over the house.
I see. A little way to go yet then. How are your mom and dad doing?
They're doing good, but Dad said his back hurts.
Oh, that's a shame.
He said he strained it while we were moving houses.
I see. He's not as young as he used to be. I'm sure he'll be as right as rain after some rest. How's life in New York? You already started at your new school, right?
Yup, I sure did. I love it here. I already made a bunch of new friends.
I'm so pleased to hear that, sweetie.
My new school's amazing. It has over 3 times as many students as my last one.
Wow, 3 times? I guess that's city life for you. There, then up here in Alaska.
But wow, Grandma, the weather here is way different to what I'm used to. I thought winter was supposed to be cold. Mom said it's 7 degrees today. It feels so weird not wearing a huge thick coat in December.
7 degrees isn't what most people would consider warm. But I guess it is compared to what you're used to. You're lucky. I'm here shoveling snow off the driveway. I can barely see my car anymore.
Is it snowing there now?
Like you wouldn't believe. I've never seen a blizzard like this. It said record snowfall this year on the news. Things aren't easy for us over here right now. I'm pleased you escaped to New York before it hit us.
I still want to come back home to Alaska sometimes though, Grandma. I want to see my friends from my old school again too. It gets really, really hot in New York in the summer, right? I'm not good with heat.
At least a lot hotter than what you're used to in Alaska, that's for sure. It does warm up slightly here for a time in the summer, but it's over before you know it.
Wait, do you mean it never cools down here? That's not good.
Don't worry, darling. I think it gets colder than 7 degrees. You probably just need some time to adjust to the new climate. There's a lot of fun stuff to do in New York. I hope you enjoy your new life in the big city.
Yeah, New York's amazing. Everyone's super fashionable. There's some girls in my class who looks like models. Apparently, there are even some girls at the school who are actually models for real.
Wow, even the kids are fashionable over there? Who knows, maybe you'll get scouted walking around the city.
Plus, all my friends' moms are so beautiful. A lot of them said they live in apartments, but the apartment buildings here are huge. I've never seen anything like it. Apparently, they're called high-rise apartments.
Wow, you're lucky getting to see those. I've only ever seen them on TV.
Doesn't Alaska have any?
It's not that we don't have any, but nowhere near as many as New York. Besides, they're probably only in the cities. And your grandma's always been a small town girl who doesn't get out much.
I feel like everyone I see around town is fashionable. It's like I'm in a different country. Mom said she had to revamp her wardrobe because she was worried she stand out too much. She went out to buy some new clothes earlier. She says she'd feel awkward coming to my parents' evenings in her old clothes surrounded by all those gorgeous moms, haha.
It sounds like your mom is already turning into a city girl. She's gorgeous enough already, though. I'm almost scared to imagine how stunning she'll be after her makeover. The boys will be fighting over her.
I bet Dad will really like it too.
You bet. It sounds like you're all adjusting to your new life just swimmingly. I'm pleased to hear it. You might find things tough at first, but there's nothing you can't overcome if the 3 of you work together as a family. Make sure you help your mom and dad out if they ever seem like they're struggling, okay?
I sure will. You should come see us here in New York sometimes, Grandma. I want to show you our new house.
I think I might just take you up on that offer sometime, sweetie. When I do, I want you to introduce me to all your new friends. Send my love to your mom and dad for me.
Okay. Bye, Grandma.
Chloe, are you still awake, darling?
Yes, I'm awake.
Sorry to message you at this time. Were you getting ready for bed?
Nope, I was reading my magazines. It's only 8 p.m.
I just thought I'd message to see how you're doing, sweetie. You haven't been in touch much lately, and I was starting to worry about you. Have you been busy?
Not really.
Oh, I see. How's school? Are you still enjoying it?
Yeah, it's fun.
I heard it snowed a bit in New York this last week. I saw it on the news. Apparently, there was so much snowfall the trains even got cancelled. It looks like people are having a really tough time of it.
Sure, it did snow where we are, but it melted straight away. The snow here is nothing like in Alaska. I don't see what all the fuss is about. I don't think they could cope if it snowed here like it does back home. Are you doing okay, Grandma?
Yep, I'm fine. Thanks, sweetie, just like always.
How are things in Alaska?
Oh, you know, the usual. Cold and snowy.
I guess that's just how things is up there.
Right. It wouldn't be Alaska without the snow. Are you used to life in the Big Apple yet? How are your mom and dad doing these days?
They both seem super busy.
Really? Busier than they were here in Alaska?
They're hardly ever at home.
You mean they leave you in charge of watching the house all by your own? That's amazing, dear. They clearly have a lot of trust in you.
Yeah, sometimes I watch the house. Sometimes go to daycare. But I like watching the house more. It's easy peasy. I'm going to middle school next year.
I know. Isn't it amazing? It still surprises me every time I think about it. When did you grow up so fast? I don't know where all the time went. I tell you what, I'll send you a congratulations present in the spring. Let me know if there's anything you want.
Okay, will do. Let me think about it for a while.
Will you be joining any after-school clubs when you go up to the middle school? Are there any sports or activities you'd like to do?
I don't know yet.
Oh, you don't know?
Nope.
Chloe, is everything okay?
What do you mean?
You don't seem yourself. You're usually so much more talkative. Are you sleepy? Sorry if I'm keeping you up, sweetie.
Nope, I'm not sleepy at all. Grandma, won't you come and see me?
In New York?
Yes. I want you to come and play with me. Could you come for a week or two? Maybe even longer if you can.
Aw, are you missing me, dear?
Duh, I didn't get to see you at New Year's. I wanted to come home to Alaska to celebrate.
I know that, sweetie, but your mom caught that terrible cold and we had to cancel. I know it's a shame you couldn't make it back, but there was nothing that could be done. It's not like you and your dad could come and leave your poor mom all on her own poorly in bed.
Grandma, there's something I need to tell you.
What?
Hey, Cordelia. Long time no speak. It's Daphne.
Oh, hello, Daphne. Long time indeed. It's great to hear from you. How have you been?
I'm good, thanks.
Where did Chloe go?
Oh, don't mind her. She fell asleep when she was messaging you. She was really tired.
I knew it. She was ready for bed after all.
She had her piano lessons today, so I think she was worn out from focusing so hard. You know how passionate she is about her music.
Oh, she's taking piano lessons?
Yep, not just piano, but she's taking swimming, ballet, and Japanese classes too.
Wow, someone's a busy girl. Surely she must have classes every day if she's learning that many things at once.
5 times a week.
Wow, that's almost every day. Isn't that a bit much?
Not really. All the kids here in New York are taking tons of classes. The mindset towards parenting is different here.
City life sounds tough. Things must be harder for you financially now too, right? I read an article the other day about how New York has the highest cost of living in the US.
Sure, but that's why me and Dan both work. We want to give Chloe the best education possible, and that's not just limited to school. There's so many amazing private teachers here, it'd be a shame not to make use of them.
New York and Alaska really couldn't be more different.
Right, it's a completely different world down here. I got a huge culture shock myself when we first moved. I know I shouldn't have been that surprised because I grew up seeing it all on TV all the time, but it felt like I saw something new that blew my mind every day.
Even for New York, you live in one of those more built-up areas, right? You're the king and queen of the city slickers.
I guess you really could say that. We're so used to life over here now, it'd probably feel weird if we came back home. We blend right in. Anyone would think we were born and bred New Yorkers.
Hopefully I can come and see you all soon. It's been so long. Chloe told me she wants me to come and stay with you. But it's such a long way, and I'm not as mobile as I used to be.
Right, it takes you a few hours just to get to the airport.
Yeah, I'm really in the middle of nowhere out here.
Sorry about New Year's, but I wasn't even capable of getting out of bed, let alone traveling in the state. We'll make sure we definitely make it home for the next one.
That's fine, dear. It wasn't your fault. I can't wait to see you all again. Send my love to Dan, won't you? You wouldn't think he was my own son with how little he messages me.
It's nothing personal. He's just really busy with work these days. I'll tell him you said hi.
Chloe, what's wrong? What was that message asking for help all about? Is something wrong?
Grandma, help! Dad collapsed! What do I do?
He collapsed? What happened? Hold on, I'll call you.
Don't. I can't talk right now. I'm using my phone in secret. Mom will find out if she hears me speaking.
In secret? What on earth? Why would you have to use your phone in secret?
'Cause Mom confiscates it. She said it was a punishment for my test grades being lower than last time, even though I only went down 2 points.
Wow, there's so much I want to ask you, but I don't even know where to begin. Could you start by telling me what happened with your dad again? Why did he collapse?
Collapsed 'cause he works too much. He was overdoing it and his body couldn't keep up. If he doesn't stop, he's gonna end up seriously ill.
Is he really in such a bad shape?
I think he'll be okay if he stays in the hospital for a little while, but he'll collapse again if he doesn't start resting more when he gets out. Who will say he'll survive next time?
Isn't that a little dramatic, dear? Surely he'll be okay if you just take it easy for a while. I'm sure all he needs is some time off work to recuperate.
He can't take time off work because of Mom.
Because of your mom? What do you mean?
It's Mom's fault Dad has to work so much. If she didn't go out and waste all of our money, this wouldn't be happening.
Wait, what? Really? Your mom's wasteful with money? Since when?
It's like she became a different person when we got to New York. I barely recognize her anymore. Not only does she look totally different with all that bright, flashy clothes and makeup she wears now, but her personality changed too. That's not all either. She started forcing me to take all these stupid classes that I don't want to take.
Yes, your mom told me about all the classes. I did think it sounded like a bit much. You mean you don't like them?
No, I hate them. I never get any time to myself now. Every single day, as soon as I get home from school, I either have to go to class or study for what I have coming up. I don't get to hang out with any of my new friends from school. I don't even get to do things I like in my own bedroom because she forces me to study so much.
Wow, I see.
But even though I have to study all the time, all Mom does is go out and get drunk with her friends. The house is a dump because she leaves her new brand clothes and accessories lying around all over the place. She hardly ever cooks,
and she does nothing around the house. So, how are you eating? If she doesn't cook for you and your dad's always at work, how do you eat? I get things from the store or order takeout. I can't take it anymore, Grandma. My life here is horrible. I want to come home to Alaska. I hate my mom. Wow, but Chloe, I haven't had any messages from your mother about your dad collapsing. What on earth is going on there? This is all so strange, forgive me. It's not that I don't believe you, it's just a lot to take in all at once is all. That's probably because she's avoiding you. Huh? Why would she do that? I don't think she likes you, Grandma. She always makes fun of you for being a country bumpkin. Not only that, but she says all these mean things about Alaska as being backwards and never shuts up about how much better New Yorkers are than everyone else. It makes no sense. She was born in Alaska and she lived there her whole life until last year. She said she moved up in the world and doesn't want to associate with country bumpkins anymore. Goodness, Mia, I see. Sweetie, about your dad collapsing. Has he really been working that much? Yeah, he has. Mom's always out spending his money. So if he didn't work more, we wouldn't be able to pay the bills. He works his normal job in the day and works part-time on nights at a warehouse where he gets off. He works day and night? I don't even know if he sleeps anymore. I barely recognize him. He looks like a skeleton now. But even though it's obvious he's sick, Mom won't stop with her out-of-control spending. I see. I think I've got a good idea what's going on here. Thank you for telling me, Chloe. I'm very proud of you. Grandma, will you come help me, please? Of course I will, dear. I could hardly hang my beloved granddaughter and son out to dry now, could I? Daffy, you are to divorce my son at once. Huh? What are you talking about? That's the last message I was expecting to get today. I can't let him stay with you for a moment longer. He's lost so much weight since moving to New York with you that I barely recognize him. You're subjecting him to a life of stress and misery, and it's not going to continue. Cordelia, please. I have, no idea what you're talking about. Would you mind explaining? Daffy, you can drop the act now. I'm here in New York. I know exactly what kind of life you've been living since you moved here. You don't have any money left, do you? Huh? Why would you be in New York? I came because Chloe sent me an SOS. No way, she can't have. That's impossible. How can you be so sure? Could it be because you confiscated her phone? Wait, how do you know about that? Because she found where you stashed it and messaged me in secret. I got on the first flight available this morning, and now I'm by my son's bedside at the hospital. He told me everything. But still, why would you be talking about divorce? Because you've been living well above your means since arriving in New York, haven't you, dear? You waste my son's money on branded clothing and bags and perfumes. You take your trendy new friends out to fancy restaurants and treat them to whatever they want. I can only assume to try and make them think you're rich. You spend entire days at the beauty salon. I could go on, but the worst thing is that you do it all on Dan's money. I only go out to fancy restaurants because my friends invite me. And they force you to loot the entire bill too, do they? Please, Daffy, be real with me. Your lifestyle and spending habits have gotten so out of control that my son collapsed trying to fund it all. It saddens me that he's lying here in the hospital bed and you still seem incapable of telling the truth. I heard all about how strict you've been with Chloe too, forcing her to go to all those classes she has no interest in and leaving her with no time to herself. What on earth has gotten into you? Do you really think it's acceptable to treat your family like this? They're both suffering while you're out pretending to be some kind of celebrity.
No, you're wrong. The only reason I've been hard on Chloe lately is because she needs to learn some discipline.
This goes beyond discipline. You're subjecting your own family to a life of misery just to satisfy your own overinflated ego. It's like you turned into a different person as soon as you got to New York. Has the big city corrupted you?
I'm doing my best to fit into city life. That's all. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices for the greater good. Do you have any idea how different the culture is here? If we didn't make an effort to blend in, we'd stick out like sore thumbs. Me and Dan wouldn't make any friends and Chloe would get bullied at school. Stop trying to paint me as some sort of villain. I'm just living like my new friends do.
Your friends have a lot more money than you, Daphne. You can't afford that kind of lifestyle on your salaries, especially if you're not working anymore. Putting your husband in hospital to keep up this ridiculous facade is going to leave the both of you left with nothing. Stop trying to make your new friends think you're something you're not and face reality.
Shut up, you dumb country bumpkin. You know how things are here. You wouldn't know the first thing about what life in New York is like. How could you? You lived in the middle of nowhere your whole life. Have you ever been to a city? Us city folks have our own way of living.
You can stay here and enjoy your glamorous new life on your own. Dan says he's taking Chloe and going back to Alaska.
What? Why would he want to live in the middle of nowhere? But
because they're sick and tired and they want to go home. They're both at breaking point and something's got to give.
But of course they're gonna find it stressful. We've only been here a year. These are just growing pains. That's all. If they can just tough it out a bit longer, they'll be used to it before they know it. And before long, they'll love New York so much they'll wonder what they were even fretting over.
It's not New York that they're sick and tired of. It's you. Chloe is so disappointed in you.
No, that's crazy talk. There's no way my own husband and daughter will want to move away from me. We're a family. We built a happy life of ourselves here. Who in their right minds would want to throw all that away to live in some snowy wasteland?
That might be how things seem to you, but they're in the delusion fantasy land you've built in your head. But Dan and Chloe live in the real world, and things aren't so rosy down here. My poor son broke down in tears and told me everything. He said he couldn't take living with you anymore. I've never seen him like that before, you know. You really did a number on him. He must have been at his physical and emotional limit. He's dead set on taking Chloe back to Alaska.
Oh God. Oh my God, this can't be happening. Why?
Because you're out of control and you don't listen to a word he says. How many times has he told you to rein on your spending? How many times has he told you you can't afford the lifestyle you're living? But it's always in one ear and straight out of the other. God forbid he should dare to question your authority, because the moment he does, you turn into a hysterical, shrieking lunatic and yell at him so loud you get complaints from the neighbors. Even ignoring the financial problems, he said being with you alone is enough to give him a nervous breakdown.
You're making all this up, aren't you?
I wish I was, dear, but I think you'll know soon enough that it's all true. You'll be signing the divorce paper when Dan gets out of the hospital.
No, you can't take my family back to the middle of nowhere. They'll never be happy up there.
You were born and raised in the countryside yourself, Daphne, or did you forget? If you're so enamored with your new life in the city, then please, by all means, stay here forever.
But I haven't done anything wrong. Why do I feel like you're all ganging up on me? It's like I'm being punished. All I did was try to fit in with city life.
Fit in? No. You were trying to make people think you were something you were not by living a life far beyond your means. Wherever you live, city or otherwise, it's important to leave a lifestyle you can actually sustain without destroying your family and going bankrupt.
Arg, you just don't get it. You're just a dumb, ignorant, uneducated country bumpkin with no idea about the world or how it works. It's Chloe! Stop being mean to Grandma. I'm going home to Alaska with Dad. I hate you, Mom. You're on your own now, so you can do whatever you want. Me and Dad are done with you, so leave us alone. Goodbye.
You heard her. She said you're no longer her mother and she never wants to see you again.
All I did was try my best to fit in New York. Why are you all abandoning me?
No one needed you to do that. You were fine as you were. If any of your new friends would have thought badly of you being from Alaska, they were never your friends to be in the first place. You were living a lie to try and please a bunch of strangers while making your own family suffer. Is it really so hard to believe Dan and Chloe feel that they have no choice but to break things off with you after what you put them through? Sure, you can make yourself sparkle by dressing up in fancy clothes and branded accessories, but what's the point if you're rotten on the inside? My son took Chloe back to Alaska, and his divorce with Daphne was finalized long not after. The two of them moved in with me, where they're currently living while recovering from the shock of what his ex-wife put them through. They're both back to their old, bright, cheerful selves now. It just goes to show the power of removing toxic people from your life. Both Dan and Chloe said that they're glad they came home, and I couldn't agree more. Daphne, on the other hand, is so stubborn that she resolved to stay in New York on her own despite not being able to afford it, but predictably unable to keep up with the extremely high rent and whooping utility bills. She had no choice but to move back to her parents' place here in Alaska. I wonder if that gave her the wake-up call she needed. I have a feeling it might have, because after she came back, my friend who lives in her parents' neighborhood told me she looked just like the plain, homely Daphne she used to know when she saw her out grocery shopping. Even still, she'll never get her family back. There are some things that can never be forgiven or forgotten. For better or worse, our environments change us. There's nothing wrong with change in and of itself, but there's no guarantee that the people in our lives will react to change in the same way we do. And in extreme cases, we have to make the difficult decision to go our separate ways.
Is now a good time to talk? I was hoping we could, have a little word about something.
What do you want? To be honest with you, I get a bad feeling every time you message me, Hunter.
Wow, how could you say such a thing? That cuts me deep, Mom. Anyone would think you'd be overjoyed to get a message from your only son.
I said it precisely because I'm not overjoyed, and with good reason. Anyway, what did you want?
I'm sorry to trouble you like this, but can I have $500? I tried my best to get a hold of it by other means, but nothing panned out. Think of it as pocket money? Pretty please? I'm in a really tough spot this month, and I desperately need someone to bust me out of it.
I just gave you some last week. Do you think I'm made of money? Please stop doing this. I'm at my wit's end here. You're a grown man, for Pete's sake. I made it very clear that last week was the last time I'd be giving you anything. I can't believe you're asking me again.
I know that, Mom, but when I say I'm in a tough spot, I mean a really tough spot. Like, might not be able to carry on paying the bills tough. I live in the city. Things cost money here, you know? Surely you've seen the news about how much rent and food prices are going up. Things aren't as cheap as they were for you back in the day. I know you gave me money last week, but to be totally honest with you, Mom, it just wasn't enough.
If things are so difficult for you, you know you're always welcome to come home and live with me. Let's be realistic. There's no guarantee you'll even carry on with your current job.
Why even say things like that? God damn it, Mom. You never have any faith in me. I like this company. Things feel different here. I really think this could be the one that I go the distance with. So there's no way I'm quitting this time.
I wonder. I'd love to believe that, but you've switched jobs more times than I can count now.
I told you I'm not quitting this time. Jeez, Mom. I wish you'd have my back sometimes. Besides, I don't want to live in the countryside again. There's nothing to do here. I'm bored out of my skull whenever I come to see you. The thought of living there makes me want to neck myself. Plus, Ingrid said she didn't want to live out in the sticks. She's a city girl, always has been, always will be.
You've been married for a whole 3 years now. Don't you think it's time you stopped pestering your aged mother for money? Why not ask Ingrid to start working part-time if you two are struggling so much financially? Surely that should take the burden off.
Yeah, that's not going to be as easy as you make it sound. I told her she'd never have to work when we got married.
But that was when things were better, wasn't it? What else can you do when reality comes knocking at the door like this? Can you really get by without her contributing anything? I've given in to your pestering for far too long already. If you think you can carry on relying on me to fix all of your money worries, you've got another thing coming. You're not a teenager anymore, Hunter. Do you think I don't have outgoings of my own? I have bills to pay and food to buy, not to mention my retirement planning. I'm no spring chicken anymore. You two are in your prime. Isn't there anything you can do to ease the pressure yourselves? I can't afford to waste any more of my money.
Waste? It's not a waste at all. I can't think of a better use for it. I'm your son. What's money for if not helping out family in times of trouble?
I take it that means you'll be looking after me when I'm too old to do it myself?
Well, I'm not sure about that actually. Ingrid didn't seem too open to the idea of us moving in with you when I asked her. Sorry, Mom, but I don't think that's going to be possible. It's not that I don't want to, though. I do, really, but you know how stubborn and willful she is.
Yes, I'm quite aware of how it's nothing but take when it comes to you two. You're going to have to fix your own problems.
Mom, please. You're the only person I can rely on. God, none of this would be happening if Dad was still around. He'd have my back.
If your dad was still around, he'd be coming down on you like a ton of bricks for begging your parents for money despite being a fully grown man. Don't be so naive. I'm a damn sight softer on you than he would be.
But don't you still have some of his inheritance money left?
He died when you were in elementary school, Hunter. His inheritance money disappeared eons ago on raising you and sending you to college. That didn't stop you spending a gap year doing absolutely nothing in your bedroom surrounded by empty cans of beer and Cheeto packets, though, did it? The chance of any money that goes to you being wasted is too high for me to justify doing it anymore. I'm sorry, but it ends now.
Jesus, Mom. Are you really preaching at me over ancient history now? What's gotten into you today? Give me a break. I don't know what it's going to take to satisfy your absurd expectations. It seems like nothing I do will ever satisfy you. I graduated college and got married. What more do you want? Isn't this what society wants of me?
Which means you should be all the more capable of paying your own way in life. You're not a baby anymore, Hunter. You're almost 30. You flew the nest ages ago, and I'm done paying the consequences for your irresponsible spending habits. If you don't want Ingrid to work, figure out a way to get through this on your own. Stand on your own 2 feet for a change.
Please, Mom, will you just stop? You know you don't really mean any of this. Just help me out for crying out loud. I'm your son, damn it. You're flesh and blood. I swear on Dad's memory, this is the last time I'll ever ask you for money.
How many times have I heard that now? You haven't even shown your face around here since you got married 3 years ago. You've got some nerve to come begging me for money. I bet if not for me being a convenient little piggy bank for you to raid in emergencies, you'd never speak to me.
I've got a lot of stuff going on, Mom. It's nothing personal.
I'm not giving you any more money, and that's final. You and Ingrid have plenty of options as for how you proceed from here. Until I can at least see you're making an effort by yourselves, I'm not giving you another cent of my money.
Wow. Fine. Forget it. I see how it is. Screw you then. You're the most useless mom there ever was.
Hunter, what's going on? I just got a message from Ingrid. Would you mind explaining to me what on earth is going on here?
Huh? What are you talking about? What message?
She told me to stop bullying her.
Oh, I think this might be about the part-time job thing.
How exactly am I bullying your wife? Go on, I'm waiting. This should be good.
You're the one that said all that stuff about her, Mom. You know, that the reason we have no money is because Ingrid refuses to get a part-time job?
You know full well that's not what I said. Why are you misleading her? Is this intentional? Did you want her to get mad at me? I almost spat my coffee out when she accused me of bullying her. I've never heard anything so ridiculous in my life.
If she feels like she's being bullied, then she's being bullied. And it's as simple as that. You're the aggressor. You don't get to decide.
All I said was there are things you two should be doing your own before coming and pestering me for money. At no point did I blame her for anything. Being married is about working together as a team to overcome life's challenges. If your salary isn't enough to get by on, then would Ingrid picking up a part-time job to supplement the finances a little really be the worst thing in the world? That's all I was suggesting. I hardly see how it constitutes bullying. Am I just supposed to keep quiet and let you keep walking the path to financial ruin?
Maybe it felt like a suggestion to you, but do you not see how Ingrid could interpret that as you blaming her for all of our financial problems? Keep your suggestions to yourself.
Something tells me it had more to do with the way you told her. Make sure you tell her I wasn't trying to blame her for anything. This is all one big silly misunderstanding. I tried explaining myself, but she was so high on righteous indignation I don't think she even bothered to stop and think about what I was saying.
If you weren't blaming her, then send us some money. If you really cared about her feelings, that's what you do. She'd feel a whole lot better with some financial aid by way of apology.
Apology? Make no mistake, Hunter, I'm not apologizing for anything. I'm just telling you to clear up the misunderstanding you've caused by painting me as some kind of aggressor to your wife.
She asked you herself too, right? If you'd help out by tossing a little of the green stuff our way.
Yes, she did. That's not all she said either. She said I spoiled you and failed to teach you how to have any sense with money.
There you go. That just proves it. This is all your fault.
This is not a laughing matter. Do not blame your abominable decision-making skills on my parenting, boy. Let me make one thing crystal clear. If she's unhappy with you, she needs to remember that she's the one who chose to marry you, and that she knew full well what an irresponsible buffoon you are with money when she let you put that ring on her finger. I'd be lying if I said I didn't sympathize with her, but it was ultimately her decision, and now she has to pay the price. No means no, and that's the end of it.
But Ingrid's parents already said that they don't want anything else to do with us.
No way. Were you pestering her parents for money too? Have you no shame? It's bad enough that you do it with me, but I can't believe you do that with someone else's mom and dad.
Geez, Mom, it wasn't me. Ingrid asked them.
What's the difference? How embarrassing. I'm begging you, Hunter, please start living like a responsible human being and fix your problems yourself. If you're struggling to get by, how about I ask your Uncle Jeff if he'll let you help out on his farm to supplement the finances? He'll let you live at his place for dirt cheap and provide all of your meals. As long as you work hard, you'll never want for anything.
I already told you I don't want to live in the countryside. It's boring. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I was thinking of heading home for a little while. I have a few days off coming up soon.
Really? I'd like that. It'd be nice if we could visit your father's grave together. I haven't seen you in 3 years. You could bring Ingrid along, too. I'd like to hear about why exactly it is that you've been having so much financial trouble. I still haven't heard anything in the way of a reason.
Huh? And why do you have to?
I don't have to, and it's not like I'm forcing you to tell me anything, but if you're serious about wanting my help, then I need to know what exactly it is I'm giving you money for. Who knows, maybe I'll be able to give you some advice? I got through a pinch or two myself back in the day, you know.
Fine, whatever. I'll speak with Ingrid about it.
Okay, let me know when you've decided whether you're coming or not. I'll have a banquet full of all yours and Ingrid's favorite foods ready when you arrive. Hunter, what in heaven's name is going on?
Oh no. Should I get busted?
Busted? Do you think this is a joke? You used my credit card without my permission, didn't you?
Sorry, Mom, but there was a little something I really wanted.
A little something? You must be joking. I saw the transaction history. You bought a bunch of branded clothes and accessories, expensive aftershaves, and got a tattoo? And the 5-frickin' star hotel you booked, what was that all about? Do you have any idea how many thousands of dollars of my money you've wasted on your spending spree?
Chrissy and Dave invited us out on vacation to Hawaii with them. The problem was that we didn't have any money of our own, but we thought it'd be rude to say no, so if you think about it logically, we didn't have a choice.
Having no money and being invited on holiday by your friends means you have to steal money from your mother's credit card behind her back? I'm not sure I see the logic. The card's still here, so I can only assume you must have taken it out of my purse and taken a picture of my details while you were staying with me. So you could go on a spending spree when you got home.
Sorry, Mom, but we really are struggling. I'm serious about that. Like, really struggling. You wouldn't help us out no matter how much we begged you. What else were we supposed to do? I honestly didn't see any other way to fix the shit show that is now my life.
That's why you came to stay with me, isn't it? You were after my money all along. As soon as you went home, almost $1,500 suddenly appeared from my account.
Huh? You noticed?
Of course I noticed.
Wait, what? So, why didn't you say anything?
I looked the other way because I assumed you really must be at rock bottom if you were resorting to stealing from your own mother. I decided I'd let it slide one last time out of sympathy for you. But that was before I saw what you spent it on. This ends now.
Jeez, Mom, I said I'm sorry. I'll give back everything I took one day, I promise. Will you just take a chill pill? Have a cup of coffee and take some deep breaths or something. This is ridiculous.
You won't pay it back one day. You'll pay it back right now.
I seriously can't do that. Surely you know I can't. If you knew how bad things were, you wouldn't be asking that of me.
If you have a job, you can take out a loan. I don't care if you have to go into debt. I want back every last cent of the money you've stolen from me. Do you even have any idea how much you've spent over these past 2 months? Or were you just spending indiscriminately without any regard for how much it might cost me and the damage it might do? Go on, take a guess.
About 3,000 maybe?
6,000.
Holy Jesus balls, that much?
You don't get to be shocked, Hunter. You're the one who spent it.
No, you're wrong. This has to be Ingrid's doing. I told her to be careful, but she wouldn't listen. Whenever she saw something she wanted, she'd buy it right then and there, and there was nothing I could do to stop her.
I don't care. All I care about is what you are going to do to make this right. Are you going to pay up or not? I want an answer now.
Mom, I can't.
I see. Then I never want to see or hear from you again. We're done. You are no longer my son.
What? You're cutting me out of your life?
Exactly. I'll think of the 6,000 as a fee for getting rid of you.
I get it, Mom. It was wrong of me to use your credit card without your permission like that. But do you really have to be this mad? Worse things have happened. It's not like we did it for no reason. We fell on hard times. You have money to spare, so we figured it wouldn't be a huge deal if we helped ourselves with some of it.
I'm angry with you precisely because I do not have money to spare. You presumptuous, arrogant, selfish little cretin. Does your ignorance know no bounds?
Holy crap, Mom, don't call me stuff like that. Chill already. Answer me this. You're getting by just fine, aren't you? What's the big deal?
Whether I'm struggling or not isn't the point. You and Ingrid could also be getting along just fine if you stopped being so wasteful by spending your money on frivolous junk. Not ordering takeout every night would be a big boost to the finances, too. While you're at it, how about you don't impulsively buy everything you take a fancy to and actually start budgeting for the first time in your life? If you weren't spending like such stupendous morons, you wouldn't be in the red every month and you wouldn't be stealing from your mother.
You say we spend like stupendous morons, but I don't see anything wrong with us treating ourselves to nice things every now and then. It's not like I don't work hard. What's the point even being alive in the first place if we gotta spend our whole lives tolerating the unhappiness of not being able to enjoy the things we like? That's a sucker's life if you ask me.
It's not that I disagree. It's just that I'm telling you to do it with your own damn money.
Are you sure you really want to cut ties with me and Ingrid? Something tells me it might not be in your best interest. Dad's not around to provide for you anymore, and you're in touch with maybe 3 of our relatives at best. I'm pretty much the only real family you have left. Your one and only son.
You may be my one and only son, but if having you in my life means having my retirement fund stolen behind my back, then I think I'll take my chances on my own. But if you really want to talk about my best interests, would you mind telling me what exactly I gain by having you in my life? Is there even a single benefit of having you around? You didn't even come and visit me in hospital when I had my accident last year. Steve from across the street feels like more of a son to me than you do. He visited me once a week to see how I was doing and deliver things I needed during my hospital stay.
Maybe so, but he isn't your son, is he? He's pretty much a stranger.
Exactly my point. Which means you're such a waste of space that I'd rather have a stranger in my life than you.
Wow. Just wow. I guess you really do want to live in isolation then. Have it your way, Mom. Don't come crawling back to me when you can't take it anymore.
Yep, I'll be going at it alone from now on. Make sure you don't cause trouble for anyone else like you did for me. That's my final wish to you as your mother before we become strangers.
Don't make me laugh. You lost the right to call yourself my mom when you refused to help me in my hour of need. I'll never be there for you when you need me. You better not come begging, because it'll be an instant no. You better make damn sure you leave me some money behind to enjoy a nice holiday with when you kick the bucket. You good-for-nothing old hag. Never speak to me again. Hey, what's going on? Where are you?
Excuse me?
Mom, there are strangers in your house.
Huh?
Did you read my message? I came to visit you, but there was some couple I don't recognize living in your house. Who are they? I knocked and asked for you, but they said you're not here right now. What's going on? If there are strangers living here, guess you must have moved?
Strangers? Oh, don't be so silly. Those aren't strangers, that's my son and his wife. What are you talking about?
Huh? Your son? But I'm your son.
Wrong, I only have one son.
Don't even joke about things like that. I'm your only son. I'm an only child.
I thought I'd made it clear that you were no longer my son. Did you forget that I broke off all ties with you a few years ago?
I didn't forget. But that's ancient history now. Can't we just let bygones be bygones? You know, Mom, I've been doing an awful lot of self-reflection. I finally started acting my age.
I'm pleased to hear that. What a relief. All right, so I take it that was all? Goodbye.
Mom, wait! Who are that couple? Will you just tell me already?
They moved in a couple of years ago. Remember before when I told you about Steve, my neighbor who came to visit me in hospital when I had my accident? He got married.
But why are they living in your house?
Because I gave it to them.
What? The house?
Yep. Living on your own in the countryside isn't easy when you get old, and that place just wasn't suitable for me anymore.
Why didn't you tell me? What were you thinking? Are you insane? I thought I was getting the family home. It was supposed to be mine.
Why would you inherit a house you never even visited? Didn't you say you were done with me?
Well, sure, I did, but...
Let me guess, were you thinking of selling it? I hope you didn't get your hopes up, dear. It was older than the dinosaurs and in serious need of repairs. You'd have gotten maybe $8,000 at best.
But $8,000 is a lot of money.
Oh, look, so it was the money. I knew it.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I came home because I was worried sick about you.
Well, you can relax, because I'm living in an apartment complex for the elderly now. I'm living the good life without a care in the world.
Where?
There's absolutely no chance of me telling you that I can't risk you showing up pestering me for money again. I've had enough of you for 10 lifetimes.
Mom, please. Why do you have to be so cruel? I'd never do anything like that. Just tell me, please. You know how they say you don't know what you've got until it's gone? Well, I finally realized how grateful I was to have you in my life while we weren't talking these last few years. That's why I want to see you. Please, Mom, I want to see you again.
How are things going with Ingrid?
Where did that come from? I guess they're going pretty good.
And the debt?
Huh?
You're in debt, right?
No? What are you talking about?
That's strange. I got a phone call a few months back saying my son was in debt. You're borrowing from people you shouldn't be borrowing from, aren't you? I told them that I don't have a son, and that if they dared call me again, I'd call the cops immediately. They stopped after that, and I haven't heard from them since. I almost spat my Earl Grey tea out when they told me how much you owed. That's not the kind of money you can repay in a few years, let alone a few months. Well, how is the debt situation?
Well, I still can't afford to pay it off.
I knew it, so that's why you tried to come back crying to me.
Mom, I'm so sorry. I was doing my best to pay it off without having to bug you again, but Ingrid's spending is out of control. And she still says she doesn't want to get a job.
I see neither of you have changed a bit.
Please stop talking to me like that. Please, Mom. I'm at my breaking point here. I don't know how much more I can take. Gah. I've been doing all kinds of things to save money lately, you know? You have no idea how hard I'm trying.
Lately? You had countless jobs over the years. I heard from Ingrid's parents. About the time you stole everything worth money from their house after they asked you to watch the place while they went on holiday. You used my credit card without my permission, and you stole from your in-laws. What you did is a crime.
This really is the last time, Mom, please. I'll never bug you or cause trouble again after this. And I'll even look after you when you can't take care of yourself anymore. Ingrid said she'd be more than happy to help out if you pull through for us just this one time.
It's too little, too late, Hunter. While you were getting into mountains of debt by spending like a pair of prime grade A morons with no sense of money or understanding of the concept of consequences, I was making preparations to live on my own. I knew that if I was ever in a pinch, I knew I could count on my son Steve and his wife to help me. In fact, I'm surrounded by people who are 1,000,000 times more kind, caring, and helpful than either of you two could ever dream of being. So you really don't need to worry about me at all.
God, why you gotta be so mean to me, Mom? I'm serious, this time is different. I'm really in trouble here. I'm scared of what might happen if I don't get a hold of this money and fast. There were a bunch of guys in leather jackets outside our house with crowbars yesterday. I borrowed from some very bad people. This is no laughing matter.
Who chose to do that? You did. The mess you've gotten yourself into is way beyond my capabilities at this point. You either need to go to the police or go into hiding.
Mom, you have to help me. Please don't abandon me like this.
I loved you unconditionally because I was your mother. You're the one who abandoned my love. There's no going back now.
I'll do whatever you say, I swear. I'll never get into debt again. I'll start taking my work more seriously.
Forgive me, my dear, but I'm finding it hard to believe a word you say because you haven't told me the truth in over a decade. You've never taken work seriously in your life.
This time will be different, I swear. I can change. I'm ready. I don't have anyone else to rely on. Ingrid's mom and dad said that if either of us go anywhere near their house, they'll call the police.
You two should be grateful to me and Ingrid's parents. We would all have been well within our rights to file a police report for what you did. You should be thanking us you're not in jail. That was because of the last shred of compassion we still had for you, but believe me, there is nothing left anymore.
I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me, Mom.
Why do you keep calling me Mom? If you recall, I resigned from my role as your mother a long time ago. I'll never tell you where I live, and I'm going to be blocking you real soon. I don't care how much trouble you're in, I'm not helping you. How could I? We'll never see each other or speak again. My desperate ex-son and his wife tried contacting me countless times after that, but I swiftly blocked them both, and with that, my peace and tranquility was restored. The only reason I didn't block them earlier was because somewhere deep inside me, I hoped that one day they'd change their ways. Part of me wished that one day my son would change and we could enjoy a healthy relationship that didn't involve being pestered for money every 5 minutes. Alas, my hope was futile, and I had no choice but to accept that Hunter was lost beyond salvation when I got the phone call from the debt collectors. There's no doubt about it, it was a heart-wrenchingly sad, but at the same time felt strangely liberating, because it meant I could finally let go and move on. There may be people who criticize me for not helping him out in his time of need because while he may be an adult, he was still my son. But family or not, there comes a time when you have to draw a line in the sand for the sake of your own well-being and sanity. And that line got crossed a long, long time ago. If my son hadn't taken advantage of my trusting nature, none of this would have ever happened. And I would have still loved and cherished him like I did when he was a little boy. I haven't heard anything from Hunter or Ingrid since I blocked them. I guess they must be just about surviving somehow. But even if they're not, I don't feel any sympathy for them. They got themselves into this mess and had ample opportunity to get themselves out of it before they passed the point of no return. I've spent these last few years of peace and quiet free from the money-crazed pestering of my son by working online translating Japanese from my new home. Eventually, I completely made up for everything they took from me, and now my money worries are a thing of the past. I don't get lonely because Steve and his wife, who I gave the house to, regularly come over to see me and make sure I have everything I need. I also made a bunch of new friends in the apartment block for the elderly I live in. This place can be such a riot sometimes. I don't know how much time I have left on this earth, but I intend to enjoy it to the fullest by focusing on my own happiness and being there for my loved ones.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.